Did you hear? Did you hear?
Did you hear that? Hear what?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Doesn't make sense.
What doesn't?
Doesn't make sense.
What doesn't?
Doesn't make sense.
What?
What doesn't make sense?
What is this guy?
Clubhouse with the guys.
Clubhouse! Goddamn Clubhouse.
What's wrong?
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
Some people don't like it.
You know, some people don't like that.
Some people got it, some people don't.
Who told you that?
About that. Who told you about that? Who told you that?
Who told you that?
Who told you that?
By a pompous radio ham.
Late last night, while surfing ham radio frequencies,
I heard it.
I heard it.
I heard it. Heard what?
About it. Heard about it.
That's for a full-on colonoscopy?
Colonoscopies.
No, not that.
No, not that. Not that.
Oh, get to it.
Get to the point. Get to the point.
To the point.
You say.
They say.
They must say their say.
Just a show about nothing.
Show about nothing. We got a show about nothing.
The show is about nothing.
Boy, talk about a show about nothing.
How? I mean,
How? When? How?
What? How?
Oh, Commander. How?
How did...
How is it possible?
How's that even possible?
How is it even possible?
It just is.
It just is.
I still don't know what the idea is.
It's about nothing.
But at the same time...
But at the same time.
At the same time, okay, but...
It's about everything. About everything. Everything that mattered.
About everything.
That's that...
Yes, that.
That's genius.
That's genius.
Of course! It's genius! Pure genius!
I still don't get it.
still don't get it.
Boy, you ain't right. You ain't right.
You got too much time on your hands, son. The grass needs cutting. You need to get to work to pay them bills, and you're on that movie YouTubing and editing. That was awesome. Very good.
Good evening, chat. Welcome to the Clubhouse. We got a position open for intro makers.
That was very good. I like that.
Molson made that before he left, and I thought I got home super late. I didn't have time to put anything together. I was like, I'm just going to play that. It's been a while since we played that. So welcome, everyone, to the Ham Radio Clubhouse Tuesday night. It's a great day. It's a great day.
Yes. Wasn't it very... wasn't it cool? Wasn't it cool just as that was playing? Everybody, you know, everybody, even on Team Replay, you're going to try to, as fast as that's playing, you're going to try to remember the name of the movies and those actors.
Oh, yeah.
And the sitcoms. And it was just, you know, I'm like, I know that. And all of a sudden it's moving. It's like trying to copy CW. Don't think, just do, right?
Just take a wild guess.
Fail fast.
Right.
Fail fast, right?
I'm trying to think, like, what would Kyle do if he was teaching me CW right now? Izzo, stop thinking. Let's go.
God, that was such a great impression of Kyle.
Well, that's what happens when the man lives at your house. See, this
That's
is what
right,
happens.
right.
You start, you know, what would Kyle do?
Right. Well, a huge shout out to everyone in green. Thanks for being a channel supporter. If you'd like to support the channel monetarily, you can do so by hitting the join button down below. We'd appreciate it. Thank you for being there. And while we're on that note, we got Mr. Visser here in honor of the NATO summit and that intro. 762.
Thank you, Jody. As
Appreciate
always,
that, Jody.
classic. Jody's a classic.
And we've got Ham Radio Hobby, a member for 19 months. Good evening, Clubhouse. Welcome to you. We appreciate it. Lucas Webster, member for 6 months. Thank you for.
Hey.
If you're wondering what these are and you're a supporter of the channel, there's a little $sign down there. If you click that, you get once a month. You can do a shout out, and everybody gets to see it. Ta-da!
I love the chat.
Yo,
I
good
love
night.
the
See you
comment.
Oh, yeah.
I love the. No, you can't. The chat is on fire, and we're only 6 minutes in.
That's what I show up for every Tuesday.
That's
Right.
the only reason why you come, right?
That's why you can do it from the house.
Evan, thanks for the 17 months, buddy. We appreciate it. So, I'm seeing a pattern amongst all these cameras. I haven't quite put my finger on it.
Wait.
But,
I think somebody in the chat found it.
Thanks for the 19.99 super chat. Love the hats. Thank you so much. This was sent to us by the folks over at the Live Free and Ham podcast.
Those
boys
crazy
up
guys up north.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Crazy guys up north.
Don't you have to feed your families and pay for vacations? You guys, and now Eric's giving us a $19.99 an additional donation on top of everything else.
No.
I mean, my God. Hey guys, check out their stuff, their podcast, their merchandise, their show. They go live once a month. They'll be announcing their July show soon. They're a fun group of crazy Northern New Englanders, as far as I'm concerned, and I can't wait someday to have that opportunity to sit down with them, break some bread, have a cigar, spread some RF in the air with them, and
There you go.
everything else. And we'll, so they're an awesome group of guys.
I greatly appreciate it. And I want to personally thank Todd W1STJ, Ryan W1SNH, Paul KF4, TPY, TPY, and Eric N1 Jur. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank
I
you,
think
guys.
Paul's got a new call sign though.
Well,
He does.
Fixed it
He
on the
does.
letter.
He didn't fix it on the letter, but he did.
Not my damn fault.
Yeah. November 1.
OG.
Yeah, November 1,
N1OG.
Oscar Golf.
They
Oscar
did
the
send
Golf.
us, and it's not a sticker pack because they're up from up north. It's a sticker pack.
Sticker.
Sticker pack.
Sticker.
And I was specifically told it's a sticker pack, like a sticker gum.
Yes.
Says that in the letter.
Right. But thank you guys. That was fantastic, and I will wear this proudly. I'll try not to get it sweaty. All my hats are sweaty
Yeah,
because I either fly in them or it's Texas and I go step outside the air conditioned house. So they get this white like band right there, and I'm afraid to wash
oil in
them.
the truck. No, but just don't change the oil in the Earl in the truck. That's the only thing you don't do. Not yet. Get it broken in, get it going, and then maybe a year or two, then you're good to go. You know.
Shane,
Yeah.
you know they've got the hat frames that you can throw in the washer, right?
I know, but I'm afraid, like, if I use the wrong soap, is it gonna splotch it? Because you can't use dish soap.
Don't
Oh,
dishwasher soap.
Dawn
'Cause that'll
dishwashing
bleed it.
detergent and a little brush.
A little bit of
Lightly.
Dawn. Yeah, a little bit of Dawn takes
gentle
that
enough for
grease
those
and-
See,
little
that's why I
ducklings.
come to the show every Tuesday so I can learn something. I
Right.
know how to clean my
Learn you
drawers now.
something.
I gotta learn how to clean my hats.
Right.
I ain't gotta go to work with in dirty drawers.
That's right. It's all about
See?
laundry.
that was
Laundry
free.
equals appearance. Laundry and appearance, apparel are very important.
Oh, I'm being called out in the chat
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What-
Who called you out already?
for not having my bow tie.
About the bow tie.
Yep.
I keep forgetting Gumby. I got
Pardon
Gumby.
me.
Gumby's
Pardon me
upstairs.
while I dress my microphone.
There you go.
It was naked. Steve, how was your week, man? How you been?
Week's been good. Just trying to get through life, you know. I am
Life in the
working-
fast lane?
Yeah, I'm working on possibly changing jobs, careers. I haven't decided what yet.
I would change jobs before I change careers. Don't they kind of go hand in hand?
Well, a little bit.
Right.
I'm bumping the audio just a little bit because everybody's complaining my audio's low.
Don't get Kyle mad. You know what happens when you get Kyle mad.
Well,
not.
I got
How did
Kyle,
Enzo
I got
get louder?
Vince, I got...
Steve, you adjusted their own audio.
Yeah, that was his.
I was adjusting it on my soundboard. So.
Oh, that didn't help any.
But so hopefully that's a little bit better.
Say 5.
How's
say
it sound
5.
for you guys?
It's better.
Okay,
It's better.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah. I bumped you up in the chat in our stuff too. So if let us know in the chat.
Yep. Well, I got to make sure I don't bump it too much because it throws my ALC way out on the radio.
Yeah,
it's the same mic.
Yeah, that happened. You bump it too much, ALC just
through the roof.
Yeah.
Then you have a dirty amplifier, don't you?
Yeah,
I don't have an amplifier.
Then you splatter that band.
Yeah.
I don't have an amplifier yet.
Yeah. Doesn't make a difference. That beam is pushing out what? 63 forward dB of forward gain.
6.8 on 40.
Yeah.
Which is what it's sitting on right now.
Only. What is it on 20?
What's the maximum bandwidth for a data emission on 60 meters? 60 hertz, 170 hertz, 1.5 or 2.8?
2.8. 2.8. That's a test question. It's one of the
to 3.
It's one of the few
See?
I know.
I did study for my extra.
They got me a bonus entry in the Gigapart sweepstakes. Thanks.
Nice.
And
if you win,
you're still doing that? I gave
Since
up
2003, baby. Every day.
Holy cow.
So
it's like
Shane,
the
if
Lotto
you
scratch
believe the
tickets.
step IR, it says 14.2 dBi forward gain
On 20?
on 20.
Oh, I believe it. It'll bust a pile up like there's nobody's business.
Oh, yeah.
Even with 100 watts. What is that?
What's up, Greg?
600
Hey, Greg's here.
watts?
Long time, Greg. I hope all is well.
Sure.
You know,
I don't do the math.
I think it's something like that.
Shaq
I don't
and
math on the
Gregory
stream,
doesn't
but-
sound as well as Shaq and Greg, does it?
No, Shaq and Greg's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Steve,
where you at? 40 meters
Steve,
or 20?
you did on 20.
No, four-wheeling said hit him up on FT8. So.
Oh, okay. You participated in 13 Colonies this week, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, and you want to tell the folks about that? Since that's kind of the only radio-related thing we have on tap
Well,
right now.
I worked all 13 colonies, as well as the 3 bonus stations, mostly on FT8.
So you got to clean a sweeper.
I got the clean sweep for the second year in the row.
On what mode did you use? That non-ham radio mode?
Oh, no. Actually, third year.
Third year
I
non-ham
bet it
radio
wasn't
mode.
sideband.
I did do a couple sideband.
A couple out of the 15?
Yeah.
16?
But you didn't pile up though, right? FT8 was there a pile
Oh,
up?
yeah, there was pileups.
What? Come on, the computer's clicking. and
Everybody's on
pointing
the same
for you.
freaking frequency, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but
right?
you're
It's
clicking
just
and
a
pointing.
solid line. There's no.
I had to get the
Very good, Joe.
WM3 PEN I got on sideband. And that actually I got on the 8th at 0051 Zulu. So it was
midnight?
almost 9 o'clock at night.
Or 9.
East Coast. Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's still nowhere near midnight.
No.
I was way off. That's why I don't do math in public.
And the other sideband I got was Rhode Island. Had to get him on 20 meters.
You had to use 20 to get to Rhode Island?
Yep.
Isn't that only like 800 miles from you?
Something like that.
Was 20 that short?
It was.
Wow. Joe Brett must have muted his mic. I don't hear his air conditioner anymore.
No, still there.
Oh, did it turn off? Oh.
No.
One of my first contacts was actually Great Britain on 20 meter FT8.
Nice.
Yep, the GB station. And I got the France station on FT4.
So were they running every mode on every band, or was it kind of a choose your own adventure kind of thing?
It's kind of a choose your own adventure. I believe every mode was covered. I do know that Ant was running satellites. I'm guessing for Connecticut.
Yes, the Kilo 2 Delta, I believe it's the Delta station. Yeah,
Kilo 2 Delta is Connecticut. So, yeah, I didn't break out the satellite station to try to work him, but I was thinking about it. I got to get better with him first.
N8YO says sideband is killing ham radio. Wasn't there there was a bumper sticker or something way back when that said sideband will kill ham radio? Yeah.
AM days, yeah.
It sucks.
Four-wheeler said I lit him up on FT8. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I got to look and see what our contact
I was about to say, what was the signal report? You're like plus 17.
I did see a plus 26 from somebody. It wasn't back to me, though. It was to somebody else.
Right.
You know, Jody's comment is very relative when you think about it. Jody says, nothing celebrates a 13 Colonies event better than chatting with the Kingsland that made it all possible. And when you think 300 years ago, it was just the opposite. We didn't want to talk to them. We didn't want to know them. This is why we're leaving. Get the hell out of here and this and that. And now we're chasing them. And we love it.
Ham Tilted Hurt says they ran a bunch of 6-meter this year.
They did. Al only gave me a plus 2.
Oh.
So, wasn't terrible. I did get a plus 11 from Connecticut on FT8. So I did get that one. Looking for, see if I had any other majors.
I bumped your mic up again because you still sound quiet to me.
Okay.
Oh, it's because you weren't talking into the mic.
I wasn't talking into the mic, probably. And I did work Gray Man. He was out in the park. I got him on FT8 as well.
Nice.
As well as our buddy Joe Brett, who decided to leave the shack.
Yep.
Elvis has left the shack.
Yeah. Hamrio 2 says I got like 3 of the Colonies and gave up. So.
And Gray Man's right. We fled the monarchy, but not the British people. You're absolutely right. He's absolutely true.
Well, I'm glad to see Mike in the chat. I saw that hurricane came pretty close to him. So
I think he went right over the top of him.
He scared it away.
It rained a little bit here, and we got a little bit of wind, but nothing like they got down in Houston. It was pretty awful.
I was going to say, Houston, Galveston got it really bad.
There's like 2 million people without power. So if you're watching from down there, put a 1 in the chat. You want to say thanks?
The Texarkana area, they were reporting almost took on 2 inches. It was like 1.7 inches of rain in 1 hour at one time. That's a lot of freaking rain coming down.
Yeah.
That's that tropical wave of just, you know. Well, I did 13 Colonies the true ham radio way.
Yeah, you were doing it on stream.
Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? I realized half of my contacts.
You forgot to log them?
No.
No.
The previous day that Sunday I was trying to work Kevin and the boys on the QRP net on Sunday nights. So I had the 703 at like 10 watts or 8 watts or something. And I'm calling and like no one's hearing. I mean, no one's coming back to me. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I checked the power rating. That's it. Bump that thing back up to 90 watts. More power. And boom, and everything. It was fun. I would like to be a Connecticut station, if not next year, maybe the year after. I feel that POTA has trained me to be able to handle the pileups and how I want to run a pileup, how I think other people would like to have a pileup run. When you have the pileup, of course, when it starts getting thick, I truly believe you have to be very resourceful, and vigilant, and all those adjectives got to keep on going. I felt bad trying to work the Gulf. Was it the Gulf Bravo station over in England on 20? Just couldn't do it. It was just so deep. He had a good signal to me, about a 5.7, 5.8. Just could not do it. And I tried many times. Just kept. between the ham alerts and watching the DX cluster, and I mean that's where I was. And at one point, as soon as that DX cluster hit, I was like there trying to, regardless of what state, I was like, I wanted to get in on the first, couple of minutes before the rest of the world started waking up and chasing. But I did my like I said, I did my clean sweep, and then I worked the Pennsylvania bonus station. Just never made the England or the French, or the French station. So hey, next year. But,
I was gonna say I had
Scout 75 says run pileup or pileup run you, just like Soviet Russia.
He's absolutely right.
100% right.
And I'm a true believer. If you do any type of POTA, SOTA, Islands on the Air, I think it's a great way of teaching you how to manage this stuff. Because if
no doubt,
I don't know how anybody could even possibly try to manage it.
And if you don't do it right, you'll hear about it on the POTA Facebook page.
The POTA dumpster fire.
The POTA dumpster fire, yeah.
But
I would be interesting to if I'm not sure if Kyle wants to pop on or make a comment in the chat. I would, because I always like to hear Kyle's comments. I don't always agree with him, and that's
Kyle
okay.
just likes to complain. That's all.
I respect him.
Okay.
But I like to, as well as I would love to know, how do they do it on CW? How do you work a pileup on CW? On voices, unless guys just say, hey, listen, CW is just the same. It's just a different way, but it still gets done. I don't know. So.
Kyle said I could not work the French station the whole week, so boycott the French and ate American fries all weekend.
You didn't eat French fries all weekend? Oh, come on.
Walt says the effing French station moved frequencies and moved on top of me Sunday afternoon while I was on 20. I'm beginning to think that 20 is like the band to avoid, because everyone and their donkey is there. So come on, guys. 15, 17, 12, 10, explore.
My goal,
they work great.
Shane, my goal has always been, but I just haven't had the time to do it. So, because I'm a working guy, but maybe when I retire, I want to fill out the sheet with 90, 100 watts, and then I want to work them all again on QRP. Just because I want to do it. I don't care about the endorsement. I don't care. I don't want a plaque. It's just for myself to see if I can bust a pileup,
right?
With with anything less than 10 watts. Now I do have my advantage. 40 meters for me. I worked everybody on 40 meters. 40 meters here. I have the advantage being in that regional 40 meter, footprint of these 13 colonies. So I do have a slight advantage, but QRP would be tough.
That can be a disadvantage as well.
Yes, good point. Absolutely.
So Mike says efficiently is how we do it on CW. So.
Yeah, but Mike, you're hearing how many guys are you trying to pull? I mean, again, for a guy who doesn't do CW, that's why I can't comprehend the whole put some
I'm
logic
sure
to
people
it.
who are proficient in CW can hear call signs just like you hear them on voice. Like they can pick out numbers and letters, and they get like partial calls, and they can go back to a partial call.
Yeah,
I
was sitting there. I was monitoring some CW, 13 colony stations, with my SDR control app, decoding, and that's what I noticed him doing several times. Was they'd start coming in there just a whole bunch of, and he would like call out two or three, suffix or letters that he pulled out with a question mark, and that station would come back.
You said bleep bleep and his
bleep,
left.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah, he got a phone call, and then looks like his camera disconnected. But he'll be back. Not a problem. Yeah, the only problem I ran into was with DX Summit. People were posting spots and saying, "Hey, I need you over here." And it's like, that's not a spot, boys. Let's.
I marked a good comment up here.
Go for it.
Walt says 20 is the new CB POTA band.
He's not wrong.
Right? I agree. That's what I'm saying. Go grab some of those other bands. You get smaller antenna. I mean, I wouldn't. 10's kind of depending on where you're at, but 17, 15, 12.
That's the reason Sandy always works 40.
I'm not a huge fan of 40. 40's always been, well, unless I'm in a park, 40 is always noisy for me.
Look at that. Our buddy Don.
Holy cow, 10. Thank
10
you,
gifted
Don.
subs.
Man, his OVF showing tonight.
Let's see. We got Interstellar Star. That's going to be, I guess that's work for me next week.
Yeah, it is.
Interstellar Starman got one. Mike Smith, Golf Zero Romeo Foxtrot Delta got one. Ham Till It Hurts. Looks like Ryan K5TAR was gifted a sub. Ken Roberts was gifted a sub. Digital Rancher gifted a sub. Corey N1XWS was gifted a sub. And Paul Griffith was gifted a sub. Looks like John Hummel V5JHN and Leaf KC9RHF gifted a sub. So congrats to you guys who got the sub. I will put you guys in the show next week. So appreciate it. Thank you, Don, for the 10 gifted subs. All right, Joe Brett, since Izzo's not here, how has your week been and what's going on?
Figured I was out of luck this week to talk. I showed up. I'm here.
Hardly.
Oh. You want to know more?
Mm-hmm.
Pulled a Steve there.
You know?
Yeah, now. I knew I could get his finger up. But, so we enjoyed the 4-day weekend with some camping. And with that, I took the 705 out with me. I used my SDR control because the last time I was at this park, voice was a little rough. A lot of electricity in the camper spots. A lot of noise. So I did a lot of FT8. And yeah, I worked some 13 colonies, but they started it. I wasn't going to jump in there. Just going to do POTA. And by gosh, one of them answered my POTA on FT8.
There you go.
I was like, the 13 colony done hunted me. At that.
Kyle said JB was rocking it on FT8 all last weekend. I saw him spotted like 4 trillion times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to put that limiter on there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that RBN, man. I couldn't help it. I spot myself when I would start, and then I noticed that every time I guess somebody decode me, it'd hit the spot page again. But yeah, so I was on and off of that because family and kids and stuff.
I don't think you could have used a longer antenna though.
Good gosh. I took that thing out of the pack and started unwinding it. I'm going to have like an extension cord reel
to roll it back up.
Yeah. It
have
took
you
a while
seen
to
the
get
one
it
that they
enrolled.
have in the what is it? The freaking chalk line winder?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I may have to buy one of those.
Jason had one of those out doing POTA with it.
Yeah, Ed says, "Is RBN spotting FT8 again?" ? Well, that's what the comment said on the spotting page on POTA was RBN and the call sign that caught it. So I don't know. I just figured it was their FT8 software pushing it.
I need
through
to
the
check
network
to see
or
if mine's
something.
got it turned on.
Do you
I have no idea.
on your setup?
So it'll push whatever I decode up to spotting networks. But I don't know if that's turned on or not. I gotta go look.
Scout75 says, when activating POTA, 20 is the last band I'll go to. Seems to me that more and more poor operators are showing up in pileups. 15 meters is my go-to band. You are correct, my friend. And the I don't know how to say this. I'm at a loss for words, but the band acts just like 20. 15 acts like 20.
Yeah,
The
it's
propagation and all that, it has characteristics, buddy. That's what I'm here for.
It got character.
It has the same characteristics as 20, and it's a quieter band.
Quieter band.
So
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. If
But remember,
if you haven't used
we were discussing
any of
this.
those bands, you should do
But
it.
we were talking about this, I believe, last week and maybe even the week before. Again, I think of 20 meters. It's like Main Street, USA, and people go there to hang out on Main Street, and they're afraid they're going to miss something. You're not going to miss something. Go to if more people start gravitating to a 15, it'll be just as fun too. You know.
Oh yeah.
Even 10 meters. A lot of guys don't even some guys don't even know when 10 meters is open because they're hanging out hanging out somewhere else. You know?
10 is a lot of fun. 10's usually really long. That's the only thing. But man, 10's fun. I've worked a lot of Europe on 10.
Yeah.
I can do nothing on 10 at the campground except listen to tick, 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 tick.
Oh, was there some interference?
Yeah.
WWV?
It wasn't that. It was something in the campground. But yeah, and let's see. I actually caught some of the Tuesday night playlist. Good job tonight, guys, and made my presence in some of those chats. I learned that very interesting fact that our friend Carlos, the guy that jumps out of planes, has a what is it? The torque setting fingers. He's got torque setting fingers. No matter if he's using a screwdriver or a wrench, he knows it clicks. His fingers click when it torques to the right pound.
Oh. Yep. He didn't mention that last week. We got to get him back on this show.
His fingers are calibrated.
His fingers are calibrated.
Vince with the ham radio workbench was about to have a new episode. He was like, I got to have a link for that. And then he told him he was born with it. So
excellent comments in the chat, guys, about 20.
Eric has the point. He says for the last 2 years, the POTA Facebook group was saying all you need is 20 and 40, and they are now wondering why people only use 20 and 40.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
You do you. It's your POTA. You do you. And if I want to chase you, I'm gonna come find you. That's how I look at it. I like to hunt. I love the hunt of it.
Kyle says those ticks was someone's ankle bracelet on RV arrest. I want to ask you 45 Auto. 45 Auto said that he's seen me spotted a bunch, but it wasn't on sideband. I did hunt. I made like 6 contacts on sideband voice, but there was no sense. It would have been just aggravating for hunters trying to get me if I was running CQ on sideband, because I wouldn't have been able to hear them unless they were like 20 over. So, sorry.
See, Ron loves 17 meters.
Me too. 17 meters is a gentleman's band. It's a gentleman's band. It's great. You can work Europe. You can work around the country. You can work into the Gulf, into Central America. It's a gentleman's band. I love it. I love it.
And like Don and Eric was both saying, 15 is open 24 hours a day. So I might have to break into Steve's shack one night after the sun goes down and see what 15's doing at night.
Go for it.
Because I haven't worked 15 at night. It's always been during the day right before I jump over to 20. Well, it says 17 meters is 20 with lower noise. It's like, yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Absolutely. Walt is correct. Walt is correct.
That's why I like using like 10. 10 is really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now it's the propagation's kind of tricky, but excuse me.
You should hear 6 on my radio right now. It's dead quiet.
Is it quiet?
Yeah,
that's because no one's on it.
Well, no, I'll bet you it ain't YO saying it's open.
I'll bet you this morning, because this morning,
right now?
This morning going to work, the 2-meter repeaters that I was hearing were all. I mean, I was hearing stuff maybe down into Jersey and Maryland, and I'm
getting
here. I am driving
on mine. Yep.
And here I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, if 2 meters is open, 6 must be open right now, and everyone must be really having, the 6-meter enthusiasts, the true 6-meter guys are probably having a ball right now.
The problem I have is the choke I put on mine chokes out 6.
Oh.
Well, that's just terrible.
Yeah, it is. And it's at the top of the tower.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at.
What did you say?
I bet you're glad you didn't do. I bet you're glad you didn't do that, didn't you?
Don't listen to Smoking Ape all the time.
Right.
We're getting your best eye right now, Joe.
Let's see here.
I don't remember where all these cables go.
Oh,
well, if you plug one in the wrong way, we'll know real quick.
They're not marked.
Don't let the smoke out.
Joe Brett's logistics.
Look at that. 6 meter, red hot. North America right now.
Yep, look at that.
Let's see. 6. Oh,
I love that.
only
I love that
6.
DX heat.
Oh yeah, DX heat's awesome.
It is awesome.
Don't need CW and don't need digital.
Go say, what do you got?
Look at that. You got US, Canada, France.
Give me a frequency. Let me see if I can hear it.
Let's see. 50314.3.
5 what? Say that again.
50314.
I'm gonna go to it right now.
50.314.3.
What are we looking at? That's upper sideband, right?
Hmm?
Let's see if I can tune this.
That would be Victor Alpha 2 Echo Uniform.
That DX commander just tuned that thing like it was nothing.
Like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
All that work, I ain't got nothing on 6 meter. Now, what y'all talking about?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, wait a minute. There's some FT8 coming in.
There's some FT8 in there, yeah.
50.134. That's WT1A.
But what's he doing though? Is he doing
phone?
Phone 134.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Let me see if I can hear him. Hang on.
I don't think 6 is going to work with the choke.
He done choked it out.
Yep.
Go to 50. Go to 50.150. I got a bunch of guys. I don't know where they are right now, waiting for them to ID, but they're like 5'8", 5'9". I think they're on the East Coast.
Down here.
Yeah, I think these guys are on the East Coast here.
You said 50.150?
Correct. 50.150.
That's showing KA2F KA2FOP. Let's see what that's showing.
Yeah.
Wow, we're actually not only talking about radio, we're doing radio.
Trying to do radio too.
Where's Molson right now when you need him?
He was in the chat earlier.
He would throw something at us. What are y'all doing this? But if you've never used this, dxheat.com is the webpage that I'm on, and I quite like it.
Mm-hmm.
Has an awesome heat map down here that kind of shows you where the spots are at. Looks like 10 meters from North America, Oceania is hopping. Bless you.
Sorry.
Bring it up again, we'll vote on it.
Right. Put a poll in the chat.
Daniel's working.
You shouldn't have to tune a DX Commander, Izzo. You should be resident.
I don't have a 6 meter.
Oh, okay.
Waterway.
Gotcha.
But it grabbed something. It grabbed one of those wires up
Yeah.
there that I got. Okay. And who cares which one?
Probably your 10. What bands are on that?
40, 20, 17, and 10.
Probably 10. No. Can one of y'all handle this while I go get another beer?
Sure.
Is that allowed?
Sure, bring me one while you're at it.
It'll be warm by the time it gets there.
If it even makes it, you know how well they ship.
That's very true. Out of a 6-pack, I think I got 2 or 3. I mean, wait a minute. You were shipping coffee.
Or macaroni, one of the two.
Hello, Daniel.
Hey, Molson.
All right. So, Don, how'd you do on 13 Colonies?
So like I said, I did everybody. So I did the 13 colony clean sweep. I did the Pennsylvania bonus. Just did not hit England, and I did not hit France this year. And half of those 13s were at, I don't know, 10 watts, 5 watts without knowing.
Nice.
But that's okay. It was fun. It was really fun to chase. I don't think I did anything on July 4th. We had family over. We did bags of lobster where Maggie works at the deli / catering joint. They had a promotion of, I think it's pound and a quarter, pound and a half lobsters inside a bag with mussels, clams, sausage, and corn.
And you didn't call your boy.
Nope.
I see how it is.
Nope. Because I'm not shipping it. That means you got to get your butt up here again.
Hell, I would have been on the next plane up.
All yous would have. So we did that, and then we watched fireworks. Or was that Friday night? I forgot. I had an incredible. I had a really nice weekend with family.
Good.
It was really, really nice. Thursday night, we down where I live. There's no official fireworks. Everyone just throws money into the economy and buys their own, and they look like they're professional fireworks. They light up all the beaches in the area. It was kind of foggy, so I really couldn't see anything into Long Island. You can still see the Long Island stuff in the background, but years past when it's clear, Long Island fireworks, the boys in Long Island know how to shoot them off too. So, but I did good. I didn't light off any fireworks, but I still got, I got all my digits. And then had some rain on Saturday, and then Sunday we had to bring Matthew up to one of the local universities. He got a scholarship to work on a project for a week up there with a whole bunch of other kids. So,
oh, cool.
Then it was back to work on Monday. You know how it is. So, but I'm doing more chasing from home. Just haven't had the opportunity to get out and play. It's been hot as all hell up here, but I don't mind because I know what's going to happen in January.
Let me guess. It's been 85 degrees.
No. It's been anywhere from 92 to 100 with the humidity at sometimes being 100. Although today I think it was in the 40s or 50s, the humidity at 88, 90. But I still like it. I don't mind. Although tonight, where am I tonight? In AC right now.
Yeah, the best place.
Down in the basement.
Down in the basement. Lock me in the basement for 2 hours.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, speaking of fireworks on the 4th of July, if you want a Darwin Award, take a look at Somerville, South Carolina.
Okay.
Somebody decided to put a firework on their head and light it.
Oh, come on. Was there at least a helmet? Nope. Or did it have a northeast hand?
Oh, they're dead, aren't they?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I figured Darwin took care of that.
He unalived himself with that one.
Really?
And they were at a block party. His wife said he was very intoxicated. And multiple people tried to get him to stop, but when alcohol and fireworks are involved, things happen.
That's you. Normally, for sane people, alcohol and fireworks makes things a lot more enjoyable. But when someone says "hold my beer" and they put a Roman candle, never mind. I'm not gonna
well, I mean, we used to hold the Roman candles out like this,
but now they're sticking them in orifices.
I know. That's why I don't understand why.
Why? I don't get it.
That's why we have warning labels on products, folks.
Right.
You know what we used to do?
Don't use a hairdryer while you're in the shower. Why is that a thing?
My uncles used to drink Rheingold beer. It was like in a barrel. It was a small barrel brown bottle. And then we would take duct tape and to the fence. And then you just drop the Roman candle into the beer bottle. Mm-hmm. And that was the holder. And then we used to bum a cigarette from somebody, or they had these things called a punk. And a punk was like an incense. So you know what I mean? It's like an incense kind of a thing, and that's how you light them. Oh yeah,
yep. And people like sticking bottle rockets in the front of their pants.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why?
Now, I will say I did do, out of the many stupid things I did growing up.
Here we go. Here we go.
We did do bottle rocket fights but we had like a glass bottle that we put the bottle rocket in. And when we shot it at somebody, we at least kept it far enough from our face that we weren't going to get hit by the flame coming out of the rear of it.
No, you hold it by the stick.
No, then if you don't let go of it in time, it doesn't go as far.
Okay, so let me tell you my stupid story. What I did one time, we used to take you remember the package of salutes? We would throw them in a metal garbage can, and sometimes you'd throw the lid on it to give it that muffle sound. Other than that, you just throw it in there. So I remember one time, I don't know, I was probably about 9, 10, 12 years old, and I'm like, I wonder if they all went off. And I looked and I put my head into the can and I shook the can. Talking about
that's a self-correcting error.
Yes, right. Talking about having your hearing, like everybody was talking, but I kind of wasn't hearing. It took a while for my hearing.
Yes,
Yes,
that's what happens when they throw a flashbang in your house. Yes. I don't know that from experience.
I don't know that from experience either. But yes, it's a very weird feeling to find. And then you're like, come on, hearing, come on, you got to come back now. We're not going down to the emergency room. I don't want to hear. I'm not going to sit in that back seat and hear my mother. And then on the ride home, it's going to be even worse.
I was going to say, I did hear a story that I can neither confirm nor deny. Somebody took a roll of black cats, put them in a metal trash can, lit them, and threw them down the barracks to wake everybody up.
That'd be hilarious. So Robert says, I reached 70 by staying away from idiots with explosives. Yes. I mean, okay.
You don't get to be old by being
an idiot because, but I have played with explosives because one of my uncles owned a dynamite company, so I got to play with some really cool stuff. And if you've ever seen a quarter stick of dynamite go off,
but chances are he was trained, professionally.
Yeah.
I like Dave's comment. Women tend to live longer than men. Yes.
That's because they want to.
Yeah, that's because they want to spend time telling us that we did it wrong. Or why did you do that? That famous saying, why did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And our response is always, because.
Because I wanted to see what it would do. What does it matter?
Yeah.
Well, I got to fly twice this weekend.
I'll be right back, guys.
Saw that.
Christ.
Yep. How'd the flights go?
Yeah, we good. Interested.
Now I saw you had the second solo. Did you a third?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I appreciate it, Steve.
And you landed where you planned on it, or?
Yeah.
I got a question about the landing.
Before I even left the ground, I told my instructor, because my instructor was like, so do you know where you're going to land? And I said, yeah, that field right over there. And I was pointing on
over yonder.
And no, I said this exact field on the iPad. I said, I'm going to land right there. And he goes, okay, you think you can get there? And I said, oh, I wasn't drinking and flying.
No.
Just to be certain there.
Champagne afterwards.
I put my coffee in the balloon and off we went.
Frank, I didn't hurt Shane's feelings. Izzo just left when Shane was wanting to tell him his flying story.
Everyone wants to hear about everybody else's story.
Somebody found the keys to the back door.
Oh Lord! But anyway, I have pictures in Discord if you'd like to see them. Hi, Daniel.
You know, Lawnmower, I was craving sushi today while I was eating tacos.
You boys talking about fireworks. I had to come on. Like that's my.
Of course, that's your jam.
Firework Canada here.
Actually, I was on Discord the other day. I was talking with some of the guys in Discord, and while I was half paying attention, and they were talking to me, and they're like, Dan, I was busy listening to music because I'm actually planning a pyro musical. So, yeah, in August. So that should be fun. So
it's gonna be like computer detonated and set to music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have a controller.
Are you gonna live stream it?
I'm not planning on it. So August 20th.
So the rest of us can see it.
August 24th. I'm heading north. I'm going. So right now I honestly, guys, when you guys were talking, I hate to say this. I hate to say this, but I am one of the wisest decisions I made this year was to not be on the Clubhouse because my life has been so busy, and like I'm still at work now. And in 2
I'm
weeks,
glad you went there and didn't go the other way because I was about to say I'm going to kick you out of the stage.
Don't let the boss catch you.
In 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, I'm on vacation. So like it's just mad crazy until vacation. So we shut down for 2 weeks solid. But in August 24th weekend, there's a big powwow happening. And so I messaged one of the counselors saying, "Do you guys have fireworks planned?" They're like, "I don't know. I don't think so." They're like, "Why? You know someone?" And of course they know that I was like, hell yeah. So I use, if you want to look it up, I use Cobra firing systems, which is a professional firing system. And you have like modules, all like Pelican cases, and you put them out into the field, and it uses electronic lighter clips or Talon clips. And then you program it all, and you can do it in Excel based on time codes and what module and what firework you want to, detonate on that module.
Sounds like no red for fireworks.
Yeah, right. And a timestamp, and you upload that to the control module, like the controller, the remote. It's all wireless. It's all using RF. And what's cool is there's a module I have that's for music, and so you put the USB key in there, and it downloads the music so that and it syncs it makes it so that it doesn't have any lag. Sometimes when you have so that when you start the show, the music starts right on cue, and then you can advance or delay the timing so that as it's firing, you go, I'm too fast, I'm too slow. And so that's how you do the pyro musical. So yeah, lots of fun. So I started working on that at nighttime, and so fireworks, that's my thing. I like it. So
although you guys,
Jody says fireworks driven by 1998 Microsoft's Clippy and Excel.
Yeah,
yes.
The original.
I'm just throwing this out here, but I have been known to kind of get entranced with some firework YouTube channels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you watch like Joel Robinson and stuff like that, or?
I have no idea. Just people with big fireworks that seem like they probably should have a license.
What his suggestion is that We Build, We Learn talks about some fireworks.
Building fireworks, and we learn how you do it.
Yeah.
So since we're all in the electronics hobby, my day, I got to show you guys this. My day has been trying to figure out
and that's
what
just
is wrong.
A small shop, people.
That's
a small one.
That's
what is wrong with the machine. And so I called the service techs about 16 times today saying, I need your help now. And 5 o'clock, they finally called me back after the whole day. Okay, let me see if I can turn this camera around. So in here, I still haven't closed it up. This is a CNC router, and we got an emergency and so I said to the guy, what were you doing? He goes, I just told it to, go home. Home is in a certain position. And there's, I called him up and I said, we got an emergency stop. I got no message telling me what it is. And I said, he says, what, did you check the emergency button? So there's one button here, and there's one button right here. This is a conveyor. So it cuts and it pushes the pieces off onto the conveyor. Okay. So anyways, they log on. They're like, we can't find what's wrong with it, Dan. They're like, maybe it's your Fanuc controller. If anybody knows anything about CNCs, that's big money to change it. Maybe it's your VFD that's in there. Open it up. Let's test contactors. Let's test relays. We can't find it. I go to the side over there and I said, there's a light lit up. So I text the guy a picture. He goes, no, that's normal. That's normal. And he goes, and you have no emergency stop buttons pushed. I said, no, there's only 2 on the machine, one on the wand and one here, and I can't find it. And as I was doing that, I was coming around the corner of this bed here, and I see this red button. And I turn it, and 8 hours later, the freaking machine is working.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you spill a Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Yeah, right.
On the machine and covers the button.
Good night, Mike. You should nickname that button Steve.
The worst part, we're never on that side of the machine. There's like 25 feet here. We're never on that side of the machine. We don't need to go on that side of the machine.
Somebody
and
did.
I don't see it.
Right.
I see two emergency buttons. That's it.
Blame the cat. Just blame the cat.
Anyways, my multimeter got a workout today. I can say that.
There you go.
So,
you using that Kai Wheats multimeter?
Huh?
You using that Kai Wheats multimeter that TO's pushing?
No. I don't know what kind. I think we have a
Chinese
Klein.
stuff.
Klein
Okay.
multimeter. Yeah.
Klein's good stuff.
Sure. Huh?
Klein's a good brand.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See, four-wheeling redneck says fluke.
Oh yeah. Well, if you want
As
to
you're
spend
saying,
money,
verify that the machine is plugged in.
you got to reboot it at least 3 times.
Everybody's saying turn it off and turn it back on again.
Yeah.
I did that.
Typical IT guys.
Yeah. Ron says blame the new guy. That's right. Blame the new guy.
Yes.
Always the
Yeah.
FNG's fault.
Well, it was one of my new guys running the machines.
See?
He walked around the wrong side.
Right,
And he
right.
caught his hip on the emergency stop button.
And I'm telling you, he was probably on break eating a blizzard and accidentally hit it. You know, Molson was probably walking. He's like, I'm not back there. And boom, he hits it. And
he was checking his Facebook. That's what he was doing.
yeah, that's right. That's
Hiding
right.
from the boss.
Hiding from the boss.
But one
yeah.
of the most, one of the things that I've realized is like remembering what you did. Like, sometimes like I don't know what happened. Okay, where were you?
Trace your
I was
steps,
around.
right?
Where around the machine were you? What were you doing? Right? It's the little details that sometimes people are like, "What? How is that irrelevant?" And then it's like, "Oh, what about this?" And then it's there. Like the other day, we had a machine, and the machine has a door that opens on the side, and it has a sensor if the door opens, because obviously you don't want someone going inside and getting hurt, right? So it shuts the machine down. So I'm walking by and they say, "Hey, do you know why the machine's not running?" I said, "Well, no. What were you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just changing the program." I said, "Okay, but what else?" He goes, "Well, I went into the machine." I said, "Did you make sure the door was closed?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "How about you double check the door?" He goes, and it's open 2 inches. He closes the door, and it's like, okay, it works now.
Machine
so
fires right back up.
Yep. Amazing.
Yeah, well, that's 90%. Even for us in the hobby, right? Like sometimes it's like something breaks, and it's like, well, just retrace your steps. You might just realize it's not broken, but maybe you push the AGC button or something like that.
No, but it's
yeah.
funny when it's funny, Molson, when you talk about retracing your steps. Sometimes we don't retrace our steps 100%. We skip something mentally, which is sometimes the obvious.
Well, and that's also like we're doing long days and it's hot. It's hot as hell here. I don't know about you guys, but so many times,
man, it's so cold.
What's the temperature?
So many
times. What's the temperature?
I can't even tell you.
What do you think?
Wait,
79.
He's had so much trauma that he can't remember.
Well, that's half. I was just gonna say that sometimes we don't realize that. Sometimes we just have to walk away, right? Like so many times, like we just have to walk away because like it's ourselves that are blocking us from finding the solution, right? Like you're always having the same issue. Yeah, or you just have to change your attitude too, and I'm guilty of that. Like
how many cigarettes?
What's wrong with it?
How many cigarettes does it take for you to have to change your mind? Like when you go outside, you have not one cigarette.
No, 90% of the time, it's making the conscious decision to change my attitude. It has nothing to do with the cigarette.
Yes.
It's me. It's mind over matter, and I can be. You're a tough guy. I know you're tough. I know. Yeah, and so like I'm my number one critic, and then sometimes it's like no, you just have to consciously change that attitude, and I got a lot of machines in there that are all CNC programmed. They're all computer programmed, and trying to figure out what's wrong with it. When something goes, forget it. You look at the schematics, it's like reading Chinese, right? And it's just like, and half the time when I look at the schematics, I'm just like, I almost have the attitude I couldn't be bothered because it's just like, oh, it's too complicated. And then I'm like, okay, no, just take your time and look it through. And then like 10 minutes later, I find it. I'm like, oh, there it is. Right. So 90% of the time, we're our own worst enemy. You know, like I'm the number one person who's like that. Right. So anyways, but fireworks and emergency stop buttons. There is an emergency. There is an emergency. there is an emergency stop button on the fireworks controller. You know,
I went upstairs.
I hope so.
I went upstairs to just push laundry, and I come down, and it's like, oh my God, Molson's here. This is great.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, I gotta get back at her, boys.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
You're
you guys
welcome
have a
to
good
stop
one.
by anytime.
If the boss
thanks,
fusses
guys.
about it, let us know. He can call us.
Yeah.
We'll vouch for you.
Yeah. We'll tell him you were giving us medical advice.
Well, you're
Don't
not
worry,
wearing
I
your
got
black
I got your
T-shirt.
cell phone number.
Yeah,
You see, you see what happens. But you see what happens when you don't wear your black T-shirt. The world goes to hell. It spins. It spins.
It
in a
is his
different
black
direction.
T-shirt. It's faded from all his
Just
sweat
faded.
and work.
Been
Yeah.
washed
From all the
1,000
heat.
times. Well, Javex will do that to your shirts, you know. So.
That is true.
All right, guys.
That
73.
is true. Thanks,
Love
buddy.
you, bye.
Have a good
I'm
one.
Molson. 7-3.
Glad you got to see me.
See, when I said love you, bye, he raised his eyebrow. He didn't want to say it back, but he heard it.
He heard you.
Yeah. Where are y'all 6-meter folks? Jesus. N8RY, you know, he just wants Alaska, so I can't help him.
Yeah, call him anyway.
Might as
So
well.
did we want to talk about our topic tonight, or just kind of? I mean, we're already an hour in, so
We-
Well, what
yeah.
should I? What should I do with all this stuff?
I was
put
just
it in the
about to
shredder?
say
Put
that
it in the shredder?
Izzo put in a lot of work today, putting
I
his
didn't.
notes together
No, I didn't.
to maybe help someone.
I was
So
put on
out of
hold.
respect for Izzo,
No, I honestly, I was speaking to a federal agency. I think they're a federal agency, a government agency.
Mhm.
They put you on hold with not the option that says
to call me back.
press. Yeah, the call, and I love that option. I love
yeah.
that. They didn't do that tonight. So meanwhile, I'm like, well, I better prepare something because I don't want you all yelling at me for not preparing. And
Steve, your mic is running away from you.
Yeah, I see that.
Like his desk went up and he didn't.
Well, actually, it went down.
Oh.
But-
I didn't key up, I promise. But that wouldn't
No.
that be funny if every time I keyed up, your desk went up and down. That would be hilarious. So the title of the show is Ham Radio Adventures on Vacation. And I'm going to make a transition here. And I say we, Izzo always pings us either the day of the show or the day before the show, says, hey,
There's all this pressure on us.
who's gonna be there and what should we talk about? Because contrary to popular belief, we do think about what we might talk about. Doesn't always happen, but at least we make a concerted effort.
Mm-hmm.
right, we make a concerted effort for a show about nothing. Sometimes you have to.
You got to really focus to talk about nothing
Yeah,
for 2
focus
hours.
on nothing, and that's not easy.
It's not. So I pitched the idea. Said, "Hey, I'm going on vacation next week, and it's I have 15 hours of driving on the first day, and I have another 6 hours of driving the next day."
But you don't have an HF radio.
Who cares, Steve? That's not part of my story.
Oh,
so my story was, and trust me, there's going to be plenty of HF radios where I'm going, and I plan on we're going to be in a POTA park, and I plan on activating the park probably once a day every day that I'm there. So put K5 QBF in your ham alert.
But you're expecting them to trust you?
Yes. I don't get. I
that's
haven't given them a
brotherhood.
reason not to trust me.
Yes, you have.
What have I done?
You're you.
You're one. They're you. One. You're
sons of
you.
bitches.
You're on a tailgate. You're on a tailgate with an HF radio. Yes. Yes, I would trust you. In all seriousness,
Listen here,
I would
chat. Don't listen to
would
these
trust you.
assholes.
I would trust you.
I heard that. You're not whispering.
What? Oh, this
Wow.
darn good microphone tonight.
Mm.
No, I would trust
Chuck, we may know a guy.
Moving back to East Texas
look at that.
for the first of the year, my wife will be looking to hire someone for a balloon ride.
Yeah, we might know a guy.
I know someone in Longview, so I can help you out in Longview.
I would trust Shane for a balloon ride.
Would
My
you?
balloon rides would be a lot of fun.
I wouldn't go up in it, but I would trust you. Listen, you don't want me. Listen, you don't want me throwing up all over that nice basket.
How are you going to throw up? You're barely floating around,
dude. Anything past 3 feet off the ground, and I'm no.
You wouldn't even know that you started. I could distract you long enough.
No, you can't.
To get you off the ground, and you would look down and go, "Oh shit, we're flying."
I don't care how many naked ladies. I don't care how many naked ladies you're gonna point. No, it's not gonna work. I need hypnosis. I need to be hypnotized.
Scout. Trust this Shane with the radio. Trust that Shane with getting an antenna out of a tree.
He is right. Oh, shit.
Fair.
I am here to test your radios to make sure that they meet quality standards.
That's right.
Shock rating. Okay. Yeah.
The drop test. The drop test.
So I'm going to be. You think I would? Oh wow, that's a POTA Park too.
Look at you. See.
Oh, see. Oh, I'm not gonna be.
Guys, you got a few extra bucks. Send a few extra bucks to the guys on POTA for the POTA donation for the website and all the programs. These guys have put their heart and soul, and they continue to do it every day and every week, and so.
I'm just looking up where I'm going to be staying, and I was like, "Is there any POTA parks up here?"
So Shane, what you're telling me is I need to spin the beam to the west.
Yes, you would.
Yes.
So I'm going to be in US 0070. So if you haven't worked that park, I will be there.
I gotta go.
That's going to be in what? In why? You're going to be in Wyoming?
Yep, I'll be in Wyoming.
I may have missed something.
What's that?
If we haven't worked that part, how are you going to help us do that?
I'm going to be with people that have radios.
Oh,
you said
I knew I missed something.
0070?
0070.
I have not worked that park, so
there you go. Myself and N8YO and Alpha Zero Zanzibar and
which means it's gonna be CW only.
And KC5HWB and Chuck and Tio and all those. We're all going to be there.
Let's try to do this on 15 meters. We should try to do it on 15 meters.
I am taking, even though I don't have my radio, I am going to take a couple different antennas.
Don't you damn dare POTA on 20 meters. Heck no.
Hell no.
Very good, Joe.
I'll call you out on the air.
That's right.
That's
Next
a big glass there, buddy.
It's a pint.
Look at that.
Yeah.
When's the trip? When is the trip?
All right, so I leave here. All right, let me get over to my calendar.
Let's pull out our calendars here.
Yep. So I'm gonna start driving on Wednesday the 17th. I will be in Yellowstone on Thursday the 18th.
Okay.
And I will be there until Sunday the 21st.
So next week's show, should we get everybody excited that you're going to talk about what you are packing or what you have or what you will be packing? No? What? Can't we have a planning meeting? Why not?
I'm not packing a radio. I'm just taking in. I might take my Pac-10 Mini. I might take my Buddy Stick Pro. I might take.
Save that for next week. Save it for next week.
I do have to take the Bug Out Mini because I haven't used it yet.
Why don't you go outside next week? Here's a show idea for you.
Next week.
You go outside next week on the StreamYard app, and you're going to show us your truck, what you're packing, where you're going to put it.
Maybe we'll see.
There ain't no signal out there.
I was going to say, Shane, do you have the overlanding set up on the truck?
No, I'm going to be tent camping this go round.
Well, you could set up the tent in the parking lot, and you could show us how you're gonna what it's all gonna look like.
It's set up in my garage right now because I wanted to air it out.
Then we can go into the garage then next. See,
or I could just show you pictures from how I had it set up at the park.
No. We want live. We want live. Come on.
Well, I'm supposed to have cell phones. Well, that's gonna be. I won't be there during the show, but
See you later, Chris. Radio, life, and work.
7-3, Chris. Thank you.
And I know throughout the night, throughout the time that we're up there's people that are going to go work other like summits and stuff. I don't know if I'm quite ready for a soda summit, but
is Adam going to be there?
I think so. Maybe I have to double check. I can't remember because Charlie was going to be there, but he's not going to be able to make it this time around.
He's going to tell you, "Oh, it's an easy one. It's only 8 points."
Yeah, it's an easy one.
Ryan says we want to see a live stream so that we can see the bear stealing your food. So the park doesn't have. I think it has very spotty cell phone coverage. We'll see. There's no they have RV sites, but none of the RV sites have like electricity or anything.
Oh wow!
So we're 20 miles from the south entrance is where we're staying. So we're going to be pretty deep inside the park. About 15,
so next Tuesday. So this reiterates what I'm saying. Then you should be showing us all your prepping of how you are going to meet or exceed
we should all be packed up by then, I think.
Well, yeah, but still, you can still tell us and show us. And
so Ham Radio Wilderness Frank. So he said just use someone's Starlink. I'm hoping Jason brings his Starlink. That would be really cool. Because then I might do like a live stream from there on my channel. We'll see. It'll be fun. So put all of us in your ham alert. Put
Absolutely.
me. I'm gonna actually work POTA in the extra section.
There you go.
Dang.
Because I haven't exercised my extra privileges yet. So I'll work some POTA in the extra section.
And that's the luck of Izzo. Just so you know, that's the luck of Izzo. When I'm going to turn the dial just to
I'm going to be in the extra band.
Yeah, no, right. And I'll go into receive mode like that son of a bitch. He's 5'8" right now, and I can't even work him. That's the luck of Izzo.
Gotta love that.
Come on. I'm working in New Zealand.
Oh,
on 10 meters.
On 10?
10 meters.
Nice.
Yeah. 6
on what mode though?
FT8.
Oh.
You hear me calling CQ? You hear me talking? Come on, Izzo.
I know we haven't seen you do a live stream using the radio in I don't know how long.
I know. My amp probably would stink with all the dust on it.
Probably.
Like when you first turn the heater on for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Set the smoke detectors off. Pot, got him logged.
There you go.
Hey.
We're talking about that. You can't see it, but I did put a smoke alarm in here.
For the 3D printer?
That's good.
Well, for everything.
How about a carbon monoxide?
One of the cameras that I use that's mounted to the 3D printer is one of those Wise cams or Waze cams,
right.
whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Wise,
and they have the smoke alarm or carbon monoxide alarm detection on it. And I was like, you know what? Why not have some type of detection if there's some smoke in the shack, right?
A detector for a detector.
Yeah.
Yep. My house, I know when someone's cooking when that thing goes off.
Lee, I hadn't operated 50-meter FT8, man. I'm not that wild.
So I'm looking forward to this trip. So back to our topic. Mm-hmm. So the idea that I had out there was, say you're going on vacation, and
Imagine if you would,
if you're going on vacation, and you're like, what could I do while the Mrs. or the Mr. is doing something that I'm not really interested in. Maybe they want to go shopping for a little while. Maybe they want to go,
Is this even a question?
They want to go shopping here. Here's the keys to the car. See you later. Bye.
Right. So you
drop me off at the park.
Exactly. So my idea was, what are some things that we can do while we're on vacation that maybe we don't do while we're at home that involves ham radio? So Izzo, since you put so much work into your list, I'll let you carry this, and then I've got some links and stuff that I can share.
So I broke it down to a couple things. A lot of it was the preparing for the trip itself. That's how it starts off, right? What I have experienced in my trips around the New England states, into New York, Pennsylvania, a couple times we've been out to Wisconsin. I like having a 2-meter radio on. And in the beginning, I would map out. I would take the Rand McNally map or go to mapsomething.com, print it all out. And then I would go to
Yahoo Maps.
Whatever. And I would go to the repeater book and I would look at where the big repeaters are along and then I would program them into my radio or just go into the VFO. And obviously you got to change good timing to remember how to operate the radio, go into VFO, how to change PLs. But I personally have found when you're traveling 65 to 80 miles per hour, you sometimes lose those repeaters as well. Sometimes you really don't know the footprint. It's still fun to listen sometimes, but I always keep one radio
excited over here.
Still
I just got a VK7.
Oh,
Nice.
hold on. Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry, man. Where the hell you at, Hayden? My first time to work a VK7, although it's on 10 meters, not 6 meters, but
it's not VK7HH.
Yeah, I mean, usually I get the VK3s and the 5s.
But you're not doing it.
Steve, can you hear VK on sideband?
Izzo, don't you be a hater.
Anyway.
I'm not being a hater.
I am playing radio and I'm enjoying it, and you can see I'm having fun.
Yes, I see
until
that
you come up on my
face.
frequency. If you ain't real radio, why don't you use your voice? Go on, Izzo. You was telling a story.
Okay.
Thank y'all for the intermission.
So I always keep on 146.520, and sometimes you're going to find somebody, and sometimes you're not. A lot of times there's a little bit more activity on channel 19. But I really enjoyed the repeater app because the repeater app has really come a long way over the last 5 to 10 years. And there's an app called the Repeater Book.
Oh, Repeater Book. Yeah.
Repeater Book. And you make it for based upon your capabilities, what you want to potentially find between the FM stuff, now the D Star, now the DMR stuff. You can go into 6 meters, all the way up into the 2 meter, 220, 440 bands. While you're mobile or when you get to your destination. Yes, there you go.
About
he's an
he's an admin. You got the pin. Oh, I'm jealous.
The admin pin, baby.
Oh, I gotta get on them. I want my pin too. And I really like that. And then obviously, because by now I don't think I have to say it. With me, I'm bringing everything. I may not bring the whole kit and caboodle, but I'm bringing the whole kit and maybe some of the boodle, because I want my options. Just so when you get to whether you're going into a hotel room, a cabin, a B&B, the in-laws, cousins, whatever. That's where that J pole, whether it's the Faraday one or
the Faraday, yeah,
or any other J pole that you have, comes into handy with some twine, the suction cup, all those little gadgets and gadgets that we've been throwing into our bags and these little nooks and crannies of our pouches. That's where this stuff is going to come in handy, and you're going to be glad you have it and everything. And what I also do sometimes is I'll search an area where my destination is, and I'll look up for the ham radio clubs in that region, in that county. And a lot of these guys on their websites do a great job of posting when their nets are, their frequency, the PL, whether it's an Aries, whether it's a Skywarn, General Ragchew. And nothing is greater when you meet a whole bunch of new people. Obviously you want to listen first. You jump in on the net and everything, and then of course they're going to say, "Who the heck is this brand new call sign?" And here's your opportunity, without going too long-winded and timing out the repeater or the simplex channel, whatever, and just explain who you are. You're in the area for whatever, and you thank them for their hospitality. There have been times when 2 or 3 days later, there I am, and I'm having breakfast with these guys. It's fun. Or you meet them the next night on the radio, or you say, "Hey, is there another, do you guys hang out, on simplex or whatever?" And it's really fun to really now put your radio skills with a 5-watt HT, like I said, in that J pole, unless you bring a mag mount with you, a pie tin, a cookie pan works great. Anything, to throw a mag mount on and give yourself a little boost, and you're having fun. Now, obviously, on the HF side, a bunch of us here already play POTA, so we know we already got a lot of that stuff. Maybe.
For people who are on the podcast, because we got an email from a listener of the podcast who's never seen the YouTube show.
Okay.
So, for those of us or those that might be listening, what is POTA? And I know there's 100 people in here that are going to tell us, well, we already know this. But what is POTA, and where can people find out information like what the program is, and is there a park next to me, or kind of just
homes on the air.
Take it simple for a second.
Okay, so let's not even talk about activating POTA. Let's just talk about listening and hunting, where you can be anywhere. So POTA, parks on the air. You go to the website, you go to the spotting page, go to your favorite Google, your search or your search engine, and there you can scroll through the various pages to see what's live, what's going on. You can choose your bands and your modes. If like Joe right now, if Joe got in his camper and he came up here, Joe would want to be probably finding out what FT8 activity can he potentially find and try to work them while he's sitting in the backyard or down at the state park or whatever. You don't have to be in a park to have fun. You could be hunting anywhere. I hunt. The term hunt is I try to chase and make contact with other activating stations, from what I can hear based on the bands and the time of day, etc. This is a good time for a guy like me who has the 7300, the Yaesu 100 watt, and then I have the ICOM 705. The first thing I'm thinking of, do I want to bring high power? Do I want to bring low power, or do I want to bring both with me?
For someone who may be new to the hobby, you don't need 100 watts. If you can afford a Zygu G90 and a good antenna, that's the big thing. Have a good antenna.
Right.
Then go out and work. You can actually work the world. And if you want to look it up, for those that may be unfamiliar, it's POTA, POTA.app, POTA.app.
And it's all right there for you to start scrolling and looking. Nothing, it could be a little confusing, but the more you look at it, the more you kind of do it, and you start scrolling through the pages and looking at your options to see what you want to see on the screen. Right. I always tell everybody, don't try to look at everything. You'll just drive yourself crazy. Pick a band, pick a mode. And that's probably, stuff that interests you, obviously, is probably the best. But I mean, obviously, I'm a guy, I have a pickup truck, so I always make sure there's room somewhere in that back bed that's going to have, maybe a duffel bag, a backpack, and all my stuff, which is what I would normally carry. I may want to throw some of the stuff in a garbage bag because, I have a top on it, but it's not 100%. So in case it, rains or, just to keep the dust and dirt off of stuff. But I rather have it and not use it versus getting out there saying, hey, I got 2-3 hours. The ladies are all at the shopping mall. I'm not going to tell them no, because God knows how many thousands of dollars I've spent on my stuff. I'm not going to tell them they can't buy a $200 pocketbook. Go buy, go have fun. And I'll either be wherever we're at, well, again, at the lake, at the hotel. It is amazing. A lot of hotels, just get out of your room, get out of the balcony, get away from that balcony, go on the property, walk around. You can, there's probably a smaller area that I've always found to still have fun without being that creepy guy in the bushes. I mean, obviously don't do that, but find a place that's, that you feel safe and you can just, hang out, roll down the windows, operate off the tailgate, go find the park bench, go find the picnic table. One of the things that, again, we buy a lot of stuff and sometimes we always are not using it. Like the clamps. I was thinking about like the vice grip clamps and all these other clamps to put an antenna, or, the stick in the grass and run some radios. We collect a lot as hands. We collect a lot of stuff for activations that we probably don't use on a regular basis. Sometimes we get very complacent of, I need my 100 feet of feed line. I need my mast, my push-up mast. I got my end-fed half wave. and I'm just going to run it here. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of other antennas that I could be using for other applications. Bring that stuff
like a
with
ham
you.
Stick. Bring a
Yes.
ham stick.
Bring the ham stick. Bring it all with you. Tuck it all away in your vehicle. Hide it. There's always hiding spaces in a lot of vehicles. You can get creative, you know.
Unless it's an N5 SKT ham stick, most of your ham sticks will fit behind the seat of your truck or or in the floorboard of the back seat.
I mean, and then obviously,
Don is an overachiever and has a 600-watt.
He's an overachiever. He doesn't. So what if he brings the Mercury amp with him? Yeah. Right. So what if he brings the Mercury with him? Guys, if you, for instance, your bioenol batteries, don't forget to bring the charger with you, unless you're planning on recharging them with solar panels. So now you're adding another complexity that may or may not be appropriate for this little excursion that you're on. 3-day run, a week, 2 weeks away. Think it all out of, sometimes, again, I've always felt it's better to have it and not use it than need it. And one of those things is always to recharge my bioenol batteries, because nothing's going to be more freight. And then I'm going to have to get creative of how I'm going to do it. And that's the last thing you want to do, is having to find a Radio Shack and go buy something, or go into Walmart to the automotive section, which is what we've all done before. And we MacGyver it, and it does work. You kind of get creative. But a lot of times I have just been, like I said, in many scenarios where I'm chasing POTA, I'm looking for SOTA, Summits on the Air activations. Again, I'll go to their website. I'll find out, see where the DXE. The DXE is probably one of the best websites outside of the POTA activating to kind of see where the activity is, and just start.
So you brought up Summits on the Air, which sotamaps.org, but I wanted to show, and this is just where my particular area happens to be, but you thought POTA had lots of parks? Son, I ain't never seen this much stuff on a map. Look at that.
Yeah. Where's this now? What state are we in? Oh, Wyoming. Yeah,
that's in Wyoming. But holy cow. And each one of these, depending on how, there's certain criteria to make it however many points it's worth. But, pretty much anywhere you go, and I think even here in Texas.
Yeah, because I went to into Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York region, and I was very surprised about, what was available. It's stuff that I've driven through, many times, just never even knew. I'm like, that's a Summit site?
W5TNT, so for North Texas.
Fun fact, Mississippi has a Summit on there.
Look at that.
Only one in the whole state.
We got several of these. It's not, too far from DFW. Now, I know some of these are hard to get to and some of them are on private property, but I mean, even if you drive outside of town, you probably find something out there that you can go activate.
And if you're not going to activate, at least know where some activity is. Because don't get me wrong, part of why I'm going to speak for myself. When I got into ham radio, it started off, with shortwave radio, and then went into CB. But you start at one part of the band, and you work your way up through the VFO or the channel knob, whatever you had on your radio. And you want to find somebody that you can listen to, and then potentially make a contact with them. So
I like how the summit in Mississippi is 730 feet.
Yeah. Barely qualifies.
Barely qualifies, but hey, it qualifies.
Yeah, I ain't figured out how to get to it yet, because it looks like it. I don't know if it's on private land or not, but it's a bunch of overcut on the Google map.
Usually, if you click on it, there will be a note that will tell you whether or not it's
ain't nobody in Mississippi made no notes on the soda.
It's been activated 21 times.
Nah, by Mississippians.
No. The most recent activation was August the 17th of 2023 by KD5ZZK. So you'll have to look that up and see if that's a.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna throw this at you.
Mississippi call sign.
If you're on the shoreline for the Beaches on the Air, for POTA, Beaches on the Air, and you go to the Beaches on the Air website and you look at their criteria, like
that's
I have
really
a
thing.
Yes, and I have a beach like a mile away from me.
I didn't know it was a thing either.
But I guarantee you, if you or someone spots you on that DX Heat with your call sign, your frequency, and I'm at this beach, just guys are going to try to work you. We're hams. This is what we want to do. Yeah, I mean, obviously, some people want awards and and all this, but other than that, man, just make yourself known that that you're out there. That's part of a spotting page of saying, hi, here I am, come and find me. Can you hear me and work me? That's part of the fun of it.
He was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Was the one who the most recent activation of that summit.
Bless his heart, Louisiana ain't got no summits. I guarantee that. Them poor folk below the ocean.
Who was the ZL that you worked?
I worked 2 of them. Let's see. ZL4KYH was the last one. And ZL2 Boy X-Ray.
Yep. He's still calling CQ. I can hear him pretty well, though.
You should be able to.
It looks like if you park off the side of that road, Joe Brett, and you walk that high power line right away.
Never mind. You don't understand walking high power line routes in Mississippi. That ought to be sodas themselves.
So you can drive to the power line right away, and then you can walk the power line right away to the summit.
I ain't walking no power line.
That's a hard pass.
Why is it a hard pass?
If they're anything like the ones here in South Carolina.
Yeah, well, you better not even drive slow under the high power line. Especially if you got them little reindeer antlers on your windows.
Oh,
you best be on blaze orange.
Blazing orange. You better be blazing.
And no, because that's what happens on those right-of-ways.
Can't walk on the side of it.
They put
only if you got blue lights on the top of your car.
I was about to say that's where a lot of our deer blinds are on the right of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And there's burn.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. One of the guys in the chats, hey guys, again, if you're gonna go out, don't forget your bug repellent. Do not forget your suntan lotion, and if you gotta wear that long sleeve shirt, for that SPF protection. The beach umbrella, the tarp. Don't do it in the hot sun, man. That's the worst thing you can do. Keep yourself in the shade. Keep yourself hydrated with some water and some other liquid refreshments, and just have fun, man. Just have fun and play some radio, man. I of all of the trips, I have always done something, whether it's inside a hotel room, off the balcony, out by the on the ground, or just whatever.
Is that safe to talk about on YouTube?
What is?
Never mind.
Did something go over my head?
Yes, it did. That about mock Jesus.
But it's fun. I have always found, I think it's 50-50 for me between HF and the local VHF repeaters. And I know nowadays it's a lot of stuff is much quieter. But man, we used to take so many trips up to like New York State and into New Hampshire, the Rhode Island area, and you just find the greatest local group of guys on the VHF, UHF repeaters. Like just stumbling upon them because they're rag chewing or on that net. Like I said, that 7 o'clock evening net, and you hear about, even if there've been a couple times where I didn't even check in. I just listened, and it was just fun to listen to hear what they're talking about. And it was just really fun just to hear, another group of, what's going on in their neck of the woods, literally. And other times, like I said, I throw my call out, and the hospitality amongst ham radio operators. I know every once in a while we get that angry ham. Listen, every hobby, every group has it. But the other 99% of the time, it's fun. This is what makes our hobby fun. So.
I was gonna say, stop calling CQ on the repeater and make friends.
Don't call CQ on the repeater. Just throw your call sign out. Just say I'm listening, or traveling through many times. Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf, traveling through the area, listening on the repeater. That's it. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. You know, if somebody wants to say hello to you, they're going to say hello to you. So, but.
So is there a place other than Repeater Book to find like active frequencies or active repeaters in the area, or is Repeater Book pretty much got the take the cake?
I personally use the app, and there is one website, and
it's like Artsy Club is a old school one that's still programmed in Windows 95. But they send me emails every year to confirm my repeaters. So, but they don't have a way to, they don't have the app or nothing. Repeater Book's probably for the cost of Repeater Book to the user. Nothing.
Free. $0.
Right.
It is the best resource you can get.
I mean, here in the New England area, we have what's called nerepeaters.com. And it gives you the breakdown if you want them on 10, 6, 2, 220, 440. And then, and you can play around with how you want to see things as far as, you want to see it by frequency. Do you want to see it by state? And they have, and then obviously all the notes, and they've done the guys behind the scene here for this region of the country have done a fantastic job. I'm going to presume other country or other parts of the United States have something very, very similar. You could download it as a CSV file if you want, and and fool around with it. You could search the database. I really personally, like I said, for a guy like me who does primarily travel in within 300 to 500 miles, this is a great tool for me to use, and I find it fairly accurate, like in the high 90s% of being accurate.
Nice.
And like I said, but a simple HT, my 705 and an Ed Fong J-pole sometimes is all I need. Besides trying to make contact, even just throwing it on the AM band and find a ball game in the evening or whatever, or fire up a cigar and you're listening to a great baseball game or something. Anyway, did we beat this thing to death?
Well, no, I'm just that.
There's a lot of options. It's hard, isn't it? Because we all do it differently. Four of us here on this screen, all four of us could say, we're going to Yellowstone, and what are you going to bring? And the four of us are going to bring...
Not a radio.
No, yeah. Okay, so you're the...
I was going to say, we're going to Monsanto. What are you bringing?
Not a radio. Yeah.
Let me throw this at Eric. Oh, Eric. What's the practical difference between calling CQ on a repeater and saying your call sign and monitoring? As Eric's example, Kilo Hotel 6 Whiskey India monitoring. Then goes the same thing. Well, it depends on the perspective of the people listening.
Excellent, Joe. You're absolutely right.
If I say K5YVY monitoring, everybody else may go, well, good for you. Sit there and listen. But if I say, good morning, 14652, or the New York repeater, whatever, good morning to you folks. This is K5YVY, and I'm listening for any stations that might can hear me. Say hello.
Come now with your call sign.
I tell you what now, get you some response there.
Check-ins,
and I didn't say CQ one time.
Check-ins for the wild.
Joe, I learned by again the example I used before. Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf, traveling through the area.
Hours.
We as hams, we like to talk about what we have for a ham radio station, our camper, our home setup, our POTA setup, our field ops setup. It's like fishing. You got to have a good bait, because once you get them in, we start talking. But it will drive away, and I never understood why calling CQ on the VHF bands, UHF bands, is so darn
taboo.
Yes, I don't understand why. I don't know why we treat it as such a taboo topic, and we shun that person, or we will not go back to that person.
I like what Bill says here. K5YBY, no matter how you call on a repeater, someone's going to think you did it wrong, especially if it's their repeater.
That's why Joe Red owns a repeater.
I'd love to hear somebody reprimand Joe on his own repeater.
I put up a repeater just so I could say, "Get the hell off my lawn. It's my repeater."
It's closed.
This ain't open. This is open to only unlicensed GMRS. Anyway, I come real close to attending a local where I work club's luncheon today because of the fact of how many of them son of a guns was on the repeater saying, "I'm on my way to the luncheon. I'm going to eat lunch. Roger, Roger." Like 7 or 8 of them. I'm like, wait a minute now. If I key up, y'all don't say nothing to me. I'm an outsider.
Right.
Right.
But you own the damn repeater.
Yeah.
Well,
somebody ought to buy you lunch for that.
Oh, talking about that. My repeater's in limbo. I'm just waiting for the call. I don't know. I figured they would have told me to come get it. So the room that it's in at the local hospital has been taken over by a private company. And
for cell phone service? No,
but it's the same work they were doing in that room. It's just not operated by the hospital itself anymore. So anyway, they gave me a call and said, "Hey, we just perceive that they probably want this out of their way. They're probably not going to want it." And I'm like, "Okay, just give me a call." But it's been a week. I ain't heard from them yet. They may call tomorrow. I don't know. But
you can put it up at your new place on top of that building.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
19-inch racks do not take a lot of space. We know that. Come on, Ezra. Come on. We've all done some work here. We all know that.
They'll be happy to take it down as long as the tower, the antenna, and the feed line come with it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Hey, the repeater itself, I said, ain't no problem. Just you'll have to wait for me to get there, off work or something or on the weekend. But the repeater is all self-contained in a cabinet that's on wheels. So we unhook the coax, we unplug the power, we roll it down the elevator. And then you get one of your maintenance guys to go to the roof and give him a damn antenna back. And the other one that's been over there, I supposed to got like 8 years ago.
I've seen too many situations where you're in the room, there's your rack, there's a whole bunch of other racks for a whole bunch of other various stuff. And sometimes it's hard to get access when the new people come in because they may feel that you're a threat, especially if you have some type of internet connection in there, and they're going to start asking about the firewalls and this and that. And that's when
that was a no-go from the beginning with me.
See that, and that's
hospital
frustrating.
Wasn't opening up.
Right,
I was going to have Echolink on mine when I first put it in there. Oh, we can't open up ports.
Yeah,
okay.
We can't open up. Yeah.
And I started to put a little hotspot in there, I think it was like Freedom Pop or something. They was doing the free
I remember that.
So much data free a month. There was a lot of people that use those for their repeaters for hotspots because they never went over that limit and never cost them that.
Right.
And then Freedom Pop was like, wait a damn minute. They cut that out.
They cut that out real fast after a few years. You're absolutely right. Yep.
So my repeater is just kind of like a area backup repeater in case the big one in town goes down. So no big deal. I'll just have a really good antenna to use here at the house.
It's all about partnerships, and I have a great repeater in my town that I want to put All-Star on it, and I have an incredible partnership with everybody, but the IT guy still does not want to.
Oh, IT, man.
They're front. They're tough. They are a tough nut to crack sometimes.
I mean, that's the whole job, right? Is securing that network.
Yeah, but when I could bring my IT guy and let them start speaking that IT lingo and explain the
sounds like 1998 dial-up when they're talking to each other.
Yeah, but no, seriously, when I bring in, so you guys met Jeff a few years ago on this show. Jeff is my IT guy. I love this guy to death. Okay, and he talked to the IT guy and said, listen, this port here I need this, and this is all I need, and this is why it's not a security threat. And the answer was still no. Mm-hmm. It's like, you think we were asking to put the 100-foot tower in the back with all, and we're going to need this. No, all I need is a couple ports. Help me out, Steve. A couple ports open, and when you can confirm there will not be a security threat to anybody, and the answer is still no, you kind of start shaking your head of saying, what's the problem?
Well, I want the 400-foot tower put right in the middle of the helipad.
Yes, that's a lot easier to accomplish. Mm-hmm. We can do that for you. We can do that for you if you want.
They'll move the helipad.
Yes,
but
right.
They're not going to open up the ports on the firewall.
I don't know. Are we?
That's one thing at my old office. Everything was getting bogged down. The IT guy was like, "Man, IPs are full, man. We're getting the networks bogged down." I'm like, "We'll make another one." In? And he's like, "We can't just make another one." I said, "You can't make another damn subnet?" I was like, "Come on, man. Do I need to show you how to do it?" Just
hey, I got on my rant.
Oh, we can't do that.
Yes, Joe, that's right. Because I got on my rant one day. They were talking about everything was full. I said, "Wait a minute. This is the United States of America." And I went on my patriotic rant of saying, when we needed a road, did we say
Eagle landed on Izzo's shoulder?
We just built another road. We built another highway. This is America. We don't know the word no. We make things happen. We're innovators. We make it happen. And the guy's still saying like, the answer's no.
Right. John knows. Create another VLAN.
Yeah.
This is
that means they got to work.
Well, but why not create another VLAN to put the repeater and stuff in? Segregate it out. Firewall block it from everything except for the ports it needs.
That's what Jeff said. That's exactly what Jeff said. Thank you. And
there was a particular part of my job that needed a set of particular ports to run a particular program to do a particular operation that was particular to my job. And the IT dude was like, "No, we'll let people in." And I'm like, "Assign it to my device, static, just only that one." Nope, can't do it.
Kyle, you know what I'm gonna do, Kyle? Next time, I'm bringing you to these IT negotiations. You're gonna put on your best, suit and tie. You're gonna shave. Your hair's gonna be slicked back a little bit.
Don't make me write it in Node Red. I will.
Yes. I'm gonna say, Kyle. This is my IT
Kyle's
guy.
comment. Go ahead. I'm just thinking about the video clip that Norm made for us. Kyle was trying to swing at Molson there.
Listen. I'm sure there's and this is not the bash saying that all IT guys are this way.
Now they're assholes.
Most of them.
They are okay. Okay.
Guilty.
But
I understand why they are how they are. So
I understand security and responsibility for what they're doing for their department and their responsibilities, and I get it. But there has to be a way. Do not tell me there is not. We can't do this.
Exactly. That's the only thing I ask of an IT guy, Steve. Don't talk to me like Joe Blow coming off, Susie coming from the sewing machine wanting some kind of port open for her thread and needle or something, No, I know what I'm talking about. Just explain to me why in your job performance you are not comfortable, allowed by policy, whatever. Tell me.
Give me a legit reason, not just I don't want to do it.
Right.
Standard policy is deny all.
Right.
Unless you can come from a higher power saying you must do it, because otherwise I'm not going to do my job.
But they're like the chef in the kitchen. They're the chef in the kitchen, and if they don't want that recipe or if they don't want that to be, you mean to tell me they have that much power to
I'm
say?
going to sick Don on them is what I'm going to do.
There you go.
Don says, I'm in development, but I can run rings around the IT guys.
Good. I'm bringing Don and I'm bringing Kyle with me to the next meeting then. There you go.
Next IT guy, I'm like, you ever heard the word gone?
Yeah. You ever hear of SKT?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you 3 letters. You better be scared of. SKT.
I'm gonna tell him. My guy Kyle is gonna give you a please copy. He's gonna tell you, please copy this down.
Don't make him say Zanzibar. You're gonna regret that.
Vern says, why not just set up a tunnel through a VPN? Well, one thing they teach me in my job is VPNs are sketchy. Although we use one, you got to be careful what you use. But yeah, I guess if it's your own VPN, maybe. Don't go searching the Google for the VPNs.
Even then,
we pay lots of money for our VPN.
Yeah, it's only as secure as the endpoints.
Do you know what I did one time? I said, well, then fine. I'm going to bring in my own internet into the building.
Finish him.
Zanzibar.
Zanzibar.
And the guy said, and the
Zanzibar,
IT guy
Zanzibar.
said, and the IT guy says to me, no, he says, you're not going to be able to, we're not going to allow you to have building drill hole access. I said, wait a minute. No. You are not the you're not the facility guy. That's a facility guy decision. Not the IT decision. And he didn't like me. And guess what? I didn't care because I don't answer to you. It's very simple. And we were literally figuring out how much is it going to cost to pay for this internet and just, or whatever, and just get it in here. And maybe sometimes that's what you just have to do. Work around, skin the cat a different way, or work around the problem, and step outside of the box. But these IT guys, I don't know. Listen, I hope there's some nice guys out there, and I would love to, like Kyle. I would consider Kyle a nice guy. Steve, you're a nice guy. I mean, I don't know. It's something about ham radio.
We've only seen him outside of the work establishment. He might be a complete and total asshole in the work.
Is the topic? But what is the topic that scares them? Is it amateur radio that we're
losing control? They are control freaks. That's what it is. And anytime you take control or ask them to relinquish control of something, they're like, no.
These are my deck of cards, and I'm the only one allowed to play with them.
See?
Wow.
But I'll let you look at my deck of cards.
And that's what's ruining ham radio.
You play with my cards.
That's what's ruining ham radio.
That's ruining ham radio.
I've hung around IT guys and been pretty close to being one myself for years. Like I said, I totally get it. Just don't talk to me like I'm Susie, right? Just say, look, dude, we can't do that. Okay. Instead of,
but
that's not possible.
Coming from a desktop support role, where when you ask a user to reboot their computer and they shut off the monitor, and you find out they're making 4 times what you're making, it makes you really sadistic when it comes to IT.
I can see that. Sorry you lost your password to your email. Can't hit.
Password? What's that? We don't use passwords.
It's all 2-factor here, and you've lost 1-factor.
So
you've lost all your data.
This is, I am required to restart my computer once a day.
Oh, bull. No way.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
And if I don't restart it within a certain amount of days, I get a pop-up reminder on my computer that says, hey. And if I ignore that pop-up reminder, I get a phone call. And if I ignore that phone call, I don't get to use the network anymore.
There it is. There it is.
So God just flicks the switch and turns off the network.
That's right.
You abide
all the employees of the agency I'm at has to take a monthly IT infosec thing. I don't know.
Oh my God, monthly?
Yes, every month. At the first of the month, it hits your email to enroll in it. You got to get a certificate that you pass. Luckily, in the part that I work in, this is all kind of child's games for us, So I kind of feel sorry for maybe accounting and all the other divisions, but computers is kind of what we do. So we're just kind of like click, click, click. All right, we're done.
I was going to say, You've got the certificate photoshopped, and you just put the new date on it and send it up, right?
Nah, it's automated. I can't just send it to them.
Dang.
I have to answer the questions.
But when it's the same questions month over month, it's kind of pretty easy.
About once every 3 months at resource.
Oh God!
I was going to say the one I was required to do.
They make 4 tests, and they cycle every 3 months.
There's 3 to 4, like 3 to 5 minute videos I have to watch each time before I can take the assessment. But I get it.
I was going to say mine was yearly, and they finally
Ours is
updated
annually.
it. They finally updated it 2 years ago, but it had been the same for the last 15 years.
Oh, not only that, you got to watch out for the secret shoppers, IT guys too. The ones that intentionally send you stuff to see if you'll open it on your email or not.
Oh, the phishing people?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a guy in our division. He sent out a request to collect all this information on all the issued cellular phones. And I was like, I ignored it. And then the next month,
reported as phishing.
The next month it comes again. And I'm like, And then it kind of came up in topic in discussion. And I was like, is this really you? Are you really asking for this stuff? Because that's a lot of like specific details you won't know about my phone. Yeah, that's really me. I'm like, hey, y'all ain't getting one on me. But okay, here it is. Failed.
What makes me laugh. So once a year we have to do that, to get the certificate to make sure that we understand the difference between phishing and the dark web and all this other stuff and what you're not supposed to be doing and all this other stuff. I kind of get my brain goes off topic on this stuff because I'm looking at all the cartoon characters that they use. Like it used to be just the black skull and crossbow. Now it's a ninja guy with a hoodie over him and he's dressed in black.
I gotta send you the link to the one I have to do
to make you look to make it think. You know what I mean? It's it's very funny how some creative people try to use these cosmetic things that people are going to be afraid of.
Zanzibar.
Very good, Kyle. There you
Kyle
go.
says, I just report all my emails from my boss as spam. Solves a lot of issues I have at work.
So now he's not emailing you anymore.
Just report all of his emails as phishing.
Jody's right. Yeah, Jody's right. Spy versus spy characters come to life in the old Mad, the old Mad magazine. He's absolutely right. Yeah. Oh well. Guys, we're coming up to the top of the hour. Go ahead, Joe. Finish it up, and then we'll start going.
Dunn says most hacks are via phishing, which is a human issue, not a technology issue. That's one of my gripes when I see on these social media platforms is people say, oh, don't accept this or don't answer this. I've been hacked. No, you hadn't been hacked. You've been cloned, right? They copied your profile and your name and sent friend requests out to the people you're already friends with.
Because your stuff's too open.
And it's the computer part in me is like, freaking know the difference. You're not hacked, right? Kind of like the IT guy, like, quit asking me for open ports, But so when I say I understand,
disk you have from 1990.
Yeah.
But I'm sure every place has that one employee who still has a password that says password or admin, or they won't change it. They won't. It's just
I got to change mine every quarter. Like I have to do a new password every quarter.
I have yet to change my password at my current company since I started because they figured out there's no need to change them. But there are security policies in place that don't allow you to use admin, password, the company name, your name.
Right.
Yeah, Brocam. That one works.
Yeah, Brocam.
I'm not going to tell you how I know that one.
See you, Bob. Have a good night, man.
Good night, Bob. Thank you.
Think we're about to turn into?
Yep.
Before we do, I know we talked about it, but we didn't show it because Joe Brett has put a lot of work into this.
Uh-oh.
So I want people to see that if hold on here. There we go.
I got to fudge half my weekly report for this, man.
Right. All right. So we talked last week about T-shirts And Joe Brett has come up with some Huntsville 2024 designs, some Montesano designs.
Drop the link there, son.
And then it's in the description. But
was he doing this at work when he just got his school certificate?
He would
passed?
never do that.
No,
IT don't allow that, Izzo.
They don't allow that stuff on. What's this Huntsville stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's in there. But he did do a couple of Clubhouse ones, and I thought these were very creative. The Ham Radio Clubhouse that don't talk about radio. That's
I like that one myself.
That one's a cool design.
That
It's
is
got,
chat inspired.
T-shirts and stickers and coffee mugs. If you would like one of those, links are in there in the chat. Then we have the Clubhouse Nutrition Facts.
Look at that.
It says serving size 1 Tuesday night once a week. Topics 25%, authenticity 200%, passion 200%, social overdose 1,000% squirrels and 10% sleep.
Yeah,
so, there you go.
That's about right.
That's awesome. And of my favorite is the F word. Have fun.
There you go.
In T-shirt and sticker form. Also on a mug. If
is
you
he
would like
flicking
that.
us off?
No, he's saying it's A-OK.
Yeah, I thought someone was telling me I'm number one.
It's A-OK.
Okay.
So, there's a few things. That
Nice job, Joe.
Good job,
Thank
Brett.
you. Thank you.
We're gonna.
Wow, is this
I'm
really
not
the
gonna talk about that.
70th Huntsville Hamfest?
According to their history, they started in 1954, where they had it in one location one year, and then, Huntsville one year, and shoot, where's Lou live at?
Decatur.
Decatur the next year. They would alternate it back and forth until maybe 80 something.
Congratulations, guys. Yeah. Congratulations, Huntsville. Excellent.
Yeah, well done.
I'm not sure why, if they're holding out for like 75th thing, but they're not making a big deal about the 70th. So I will, right?
So that means I got to get my butt down there in 5 more years for the 75th.
Yeah, yeah.
If you won't, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, awesome stuff.
Last year when I come out with some Huntsville designs, probably the year before that too, I put them out like a week before the show, and like some people ordered shirts, but they didn't come in before they had to leave to come to the show, and I felt bad, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do it months earlier this time.
Well, that's because you're in the garage making them for everybody, and they were expecting you were going to bring them to them.
So here's you a few weeks. Was it 39 days, I think.
Jeff, thanks for the 19 months, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff.
Dang, 19 months. Jeff, you're a good man.
Hiking and Ham and Lou, well, it all explains it on their history of the About Me section of their website. And they used to have it in the hotels and stuff.
Thank you, Vern.
Something like that.
Vern, thanks for the $10 super chat. Password Dice app for super strong passwords. There you go.
Will it remember them for you?
Passworddice.app.
Because super strong password is not good for not a super strong brain.
So true. That is so true. Well, boys, we're going to put a bow on this thing?
Put a bow on it.
Put a bow.
Yeah, I got to go to the loo. Not Decatur, but to my loo.
To your loo. All right,
See what I did
well,
there?
Joe
We
Brett,
call that the head.
we'll start with you first. What's coming up?
Day.
Anything at all, or do you just want to wave goodbye?
Bye, because I don't know.
All right, Steve.
I got nothing. We'll
Nothing
see
for
next
you.
week.
Just want to wave goodbye.
Yep. See you next week.
All right. What about Izzo? Anything for the?
If you're going to be in Connecticut, if you're going to be in Connecticut, I'll keep it short and
depends on
sweet.
Izzo.
If you're going to be in Connecticut and you want to go to the carnival, I'll be in the parking lot parking cars for the next starting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm parking cars, and we can have a smoke. If not, enjoy your weekend and do other things. And I'll be hunting. I'll be hunting everybody down on the radio. I love So that's what I'll be doing. For
Izzo, I have to say, I would love to pull up somewhere where you're parking cars, because wherever you pointed, I'd turn the opposite way.
I would no. I welcome everybody. No, I am a gentleman. I welcome everybody in. If anybody needs a hand, my only pet peeve is the next day when I go walk in the lot for garbage, and there's always somebody who leaves a diaper. That's my pet peeve. Don't be leaving diapers in parking lots.
That's just what I'm trying to do, Jeff.
Thank you, Kyle.
Kyle says this only parks El Caminos.
That's the VIP area.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Put me in your ham alert for July 18th, 19th, and 20th for POTA. I want to work some folks. I'm probably not going to spot myself except on Discord if I have a signal. So I can work as many folks. I looked at the map, and T-Mobile does have pretty good coverage out there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll probably put something in Discord before I actually spot myself. So if you're near a radio, come on. But thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Has the best fried dough. If you like fried dough, I'll hook you up.
Corn dogs?
Fried dough.